coming at you live from their secret location in an underwater bunker 2 miles off the Emerald Coast. It's Chimichanga Talk with your host, Deadpool Speaks.
And we're back. We're back for another Roundup podcast. Again, it's me, your host, Deadpool Speaks. And with me, as always, is the great and mighty, powerfully voiced Bad Juju. Hey, Bad Juju, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for actually, calling me
And,
mighty. And
here's a great thing that we'd like to go ahead and talk about today is, first of all, you know that Chimichanga Talk is your number one podcast for egg recipes and Neiman culture, whatever that is.
well, actually,
But,
I can't follow those egg recipes. I don't have any more eggs. They're all gone.
well, yeah, I know. Yeah, eggs. We don't talk about eggs unless you have money to spend. Back alley eggs are now a big thing, so a lot of people are thinking that there's a possibility that there are going to be new chicken farmers all over America, which means that I hear a lot of noise complaints coming from angry neighbors who would like some eggs, but their neighbors are like, "No, we're going to hoard these and not give you any."
Makes sense.
So I'm going to be really interested to see what's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. Now, I do want to let you know that our podcast today is actually sponsored by Nuvo Weave. Nuvo Weave. If you've never heard of it, it's probably because it's on our podcast. All right, so that's it. Let's talk about some geeky news. Bad Juju. And I'm going to start off with like a really interesting one. This was like a little bit later in the week this week. We're talking about Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Okay.
Now, The Odyssey is like a very popular book that you most likely kind of breezed through and did cliff notes on in high school. And it's popular for myth culture, and like a lot of movies have taken adaptations of it, of course. Now, the interesting thing is the Odyssey. There's a lot of people talking about how it's paying like an homage to old Hollywood movies like Ben-Hur and things of that nature. Now, the Odyssey, directed by Christopher Nolan, the same guy who brought you that film with a bomb and Barbie. Yeah, I think that's right. No, no, Christopher Nolan. Yeah, I've always liked his directing style. My favorite movie from him is Inception. I think it's a wonderfully structured film. And he's actually teaming up with Matt Damon on this one. Matt
Oh,
Damon,
really?
right?
Actually,
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that.
for the Odyssey, yes.
Okay.
So Matt Damon is playing Odysseus. Odysseus. There's a lot of
Whatever.
S's in there.
Something. An Odo something. That's a goddamn
Yeah.
name.
Well,
Otto.
no,
You can call him
no. We
Otto.
need. Yes. Well, yeah. Well, he plays Otto, the lead character of the Odyssey. Um, but no, I think it's going to be like a really cool film. I've seen a lot more kind of like trending towards escaping the CGI trend and leaning more into big sets and practical effects, which is really cool.
Who doesn't like
Um,
practical? It's just really expensive, but even then, they have the money.
yeah, yeah, that's true. And if anybody has that money, it's Christopher Nolan. And it's going to be interesting to see what would happen. And something interesting that has happened along the lines of Hollywood. James Bond, 007.
Oh yeah.
It's no longer basically Jeff Bezos says, you know what, I want that, and he bought the rights to James Bond.
And
Um,
I mean, I guess James Bond has been around for I don't even know how long at this
Eons.
point. Eons. We'll put
Yeah,
eons.
yeah.
And I feel like he just got that because it is kind of a simple uh, IP to grab. It's an oldie but a goodie. Uh,
Okay,
I guess
I could see it that way.
I guess now we're gonna be seeing the the new James Bond under Prime with things like The Boys and Invincible, which I'm
Yeah,
kind of
it's unclear. Yeah, it's
yeah.
unclear if it's going to be like a series or a new movie. But it definitely is interesting since now what used to be big Hollywood movies, right, is now leaning towards being picked up by things like Netflix, like streaming services, Apple TV, um, and now Amazon. So just like Amazon released Beast games, um, basically, or what I like to call, let's do anything that we can that some person thinks up for money, which I'd play that. I'd play that game.
Wait, for money?
Mr. Beast,
Damn.
if you're watching Mr. Beast, wink, wink. Hey, uh, I'll do anything for a little bit of money. I'll wait on your table and get a free car.
Even $20?
Well, no.
Okay.
And former Superman, Harry Cavill. Did
Mm,
I say that right?
no.
Cavalier, Harry,
Calvary.
Harry, Harry Cavill. This. Yes,
Close
him.
enough.
Close enough. Former Superman and massive hunk. Actually, there's a leaked version of his James Bond audition tape. If you
Oh,
guys want to
really?
look that up, you give it a little Google.
We'll pop up right here,
One
like a few seconds of
device
it.
is
Yeah,
connected to.
All right, and it's
yeah,
gone. We have copyright, so we don't want to.
yeah. We
We
don't
don't
want to
want.
trigger that.
We don't want that.
Yeah, because Chimichanga Talk is not owned by Jeff Bezos yet. Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos, wink, wink. um, so, yeah, like his audition tape is out there, which kind of like shows, and I don't know where anyone got the idea that, yeah, that guy's too old to play James Bond, but damn. um, Because yeah, that guy has he ages very well. He's like Tom Cruise. There's probably like one of those hyperbaric chambers that keeps him on ice.
I mean,
And they only
building
release.
PCs and all that's keeping him young. I mean, he's good
Yeah,
at
well,
it. He's really good at
Oh,
it.
oh, oh, really?
Yeah, have you seen his
Like he
videos?
built
He builds
a
PCs and
build.
he plays games. He says Warhammer is one of his favorite games, if I'm correct.
Oh, wow. Well, it's a good thing that so he's like Elon, except a lot less evil.
He's Elon, but
Oh,
actually funny.
oh, oh!
Sorry.
Now the FBI is going to break down our door.
Yeah, and there goes our money.
uh,
There goes all
yeah.
that.
So much for my Twitter profile
Yeah.
at Deadpool Speaks. Hey, okay, shameless plug. Um, Now, another thing that I did want to go ahead and mention as well is, there's been a lot of weird backlash from people talking about Captain America: Brave New World. It's been a controversial topic, but you know what? I want everybody to know that you should be happy. Okay, be grateful for what you have. Okay, there are starving movie people in other countries that don't get to enjoy any movie whatsoever, or they get to enjoy movies filled with unbelievable boredom because they're absolutely trife. And here you are criticizing Captain America: Brave New World because it doesn't, meet your standards. I think I remember a time not that long ago when we didn't have superhero movies, or we did have superhero movies, but they retained things like Blank Man,
Or
pretty movie
Meteor
by the
Man.
way, or Meteor Man. There you go, or
It's
Shazam. Uh,
and the
so,
crazy thing is, I
mhm,
did really enjoy the performances in Brave New World. A lot of people don't, but I really enjoyed
mm,
it. I enjoyed Anthony Mackie, of course. He's great,
mm.
and
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I can't recall his name from top of my head, but the guy who ends up playing leader in the movie is absolutely amazing. He goes full on practical with it, so I think it's a really good movie. Is it like the best Marvel movie? No, It's a fun movie.
No,
It's really fun.
but it's a Marvel movie.
Yeah,
I
it's a
mean, go
Marvel
in there
movie.
and enjoy it. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
you're supposed to
I
enjoy.
I think the problem is that we're hitting the new 52 of Marvel, right? So there's people that are like old fans, right, of Marvel series. They're like, oh, Iron Man, Thor, I know all of them, right? Because we grew up with them, but we don't follow some of the new stuff and occurrences that have happened. Even though the Falcon did become Captain America, you know, it wasn't that long ago. Still, a lot of people are not used to change, you know. But the thing
Yeah.
is you have to be constantly evolving, right? They are constantly kind of trying to make these movies to appease number one the comic book fans, right? I mean, come
Yeah.
on, we have a Fantastic Four with accurate costumes.
Oh yeah.
Hello, that looks absolutely amazing. Plus, a thing that looks like the thing, you know, straight with big old unibrow rock formation, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, so the thing is I think we're kind of missing a valid point here that you have to adapt yourself to change. Let yourself enjoy the movie for what it is, right? I mean, that movie's not going to be your dissertation or, you know, it's not going to go ahead and destabilize the economy, unlike other things, because, you know, you're like, oh, I can't deal with all this change. No, love it for what it is. Be a geek, you know, and kind of support each other. I see so many fights among geeks, just like little slap air fights that just look very pathetic. I can understand um, you know, why people kind of look at that and be like, why are you fighting over this? There are other things you could be
Yeah.
fighting over,
And
people.
it
Okay.
it's funny because I think people got really greedy ever since Endgame, and
Yeah.
Marvel is trying to fit that standard of people wanting to watch a new Endgame with every other
Yeah.
movie. Ant Man
Yeah. And that's,
and Ant Man. All I got is Ant Man Quantumania. That's the only one that they tried really
yeah.
hard to fit that.
And I mean, some people said that it was good. Some people didn't like it. You know, I enjoyed it, because I went in there without these expectations. Like, oh no, you have to blow my mind. Well, sorry, buddy. You know, this is just a continuation of another story. So as long as it kind of gets to the point, tells us a story that it needs to do, so that way we can walk away going, hey, when the next movie comes out, I kind of know what's going on. Um, Fantastic. More power to us. So let's talk about a couple things because we have an amazing guest coming up. And you know, he's unlike any other guest that we've had before on the show.
Oh yeah, most
Um,
definitely.
Yeah, and I think you're going to go ahead and love this. Now, I do want to let you guys know to like and subscribe, right? Like, subscribe, do all the other cringy stuff that all the people on YouTube tell you to do. We do have some amazing guests in the wings, okay? One of which includes a really wonderful, what they call America's action cop, right? He is an actor who's been in True Detective. He's been in um, uh, Planet of the Apes. Well, actually, well, not Planet of the Apes. Well, yes. He's also been in Jurassic World, if I'm not mistaken. He's done a lot of different things.
Yeah.
He's a writer and filmmaker and director. And he's going to be on the show. We also have an award-winning writer who writes a lot of really cool and what we call like pulp fiction type stuff. He's been on the show before, coming up pretty soon. And yes, I tease this, right? This is like the teasing point. And we also have a wonderful theater television star. Also, he's done books, children's books, that's popular for. And what he's really popular for is he's voiced a couple characters on one of the biggest and oldest, um, you know, online games that's out there. So you want to stay tuned for that one as well
Because it
as we
is
go ahead and
incoming. Some people
Okay.
will get
Is
me
it?
there. Some people will
Some
get me
people will
there.
get to who's okay. I don't want to kind of like reveal where this guy has a team, but he keeps it well fortressed. So we do have some great guests coming up here in the very near future that we're absolutely excited about. So remember to like, subscribe. You can find us wherever things lurk and roam from our Facebook page, which is Chimichanga Talk. You go to Facebook, Chimichanga Talk. You go to Instagram, it's Chimichanga Talk. You go to Twitter, if you still use that, because,
It's probably still
whatever.
there.
Yeah, it's still there. It's Deadpool Speaks. You'll be interacting directly with me. I interact quite heavily whenever there's like a big event, like a wrestling event or something like that. I like to go ahead. I go on Twitter and spout some nonsense about all the different wrestlers and stuff. Also, we are on TikTok now, which is a
Oh, we
thing.
are.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't want to use TikTok because I didn't think someone would cave on something. But lo and behold, guess who caved? And I'm not talking about like Apple and Google and all this other stuff that re-released TikTok back onto their stores. So anybody who purchased a phone off of eBay for about $1,400 because it had TikTok on there,
Well, it's
I'm
back.
sorry.
It's back.
I'm sorry.
Was the addiction that
I
much?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I understand that there's a lot of people who like, and this is my biggest gripe with the fact that they did that to TikTok is the fact that a lot of people do run their small businesses off of off of TikTok.
And not just
People,
that, but sorry
hmm
to interrupt you, but not only that, but there's a lot of people who use TikTok as like a little coping mechanism. I have a friend who,
hmm
whenever they're feeling down or upset, they scroll through, find something funny, and they love it, like an animal video or something. So getting rid of that got rid of their coping mechanism, and that was absolutely it was sad to see them. They were kind of
yeah,
panicking. A lot of people rely on TikTok to make their days better, and I'll admit TikTok is really nice when you just get to scroll through, see a little dog jumping around, or some guy tripping up or yelling in the store, something stupid makes you laugh.
yeah.
So it
And I
was,
think that's the whole purpose of having an app like that, right?
yeah.
I think even though you have like Instagram and all these other
Oh, we don't talk
different
about Instagram.
avenues, yeah. Well,
Mm-mm.
eh. We're on Instagram, Jimmy Chan Get Out. No, but seriously, like, I think a lot of people found an avenue and a really good community there. So I was just upset that they took that away because I want people to have an avenue to kind of express their own feelings. Because I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I know we're going through like really weird times. I know there's like a large divide in this country, which we can't do anything about except for kind of reach out to, if there's something that bothers you, reach out to your local senator, reach out to your local office, just, be proactive about your voice. It helps a lot better to reach the people that can actually do change and be the change you want to see. If you hate people being rude, don't be rude. Simple as that. If you don't want people to be angry, give them a smile. Even when you're like walking around and you think they don't deserve it, let me tell you, a smile is extremely contagious, right?
Yeah. Very.
Yeah. Yeah,
We've
You
uh
smiling right now.
we've I've done a lot of events where I'd help people out and I'd do like little charity events. Little plug, Spring Break Superheroes.
Gotcha,
um,
gotcha.
and a lot of people think of it as something that they do for attention, but in all honesty, it is nice to give people kind of a break from reality. And that's the same thing that
hmm
goes. We can loop back to movies. Movies, things like that, usually are meant to be a break from reality, to give people that kind of space to just relax. Because, as you said, we are going through a really, really weird time,
Yeah.
and
And
it's really nice to
you,
do
you know,
that.
I want you to know that the Spring Break Superheroes, which you could follow on Facebook as well. You know who started Spring Break Superheroes?
You look at them at the right.
Yeah, right here, buddy. All right. Actually, it was me, and then Dr. Evilbeard and Rhodey Batman. We decided to get together and help out a family that had lost a lot of things. They had a disabled adult, um, which loved Batman. It was just something that we saw, and we're like, you know what, we're going to do whatever we can. They didn't have money for Christmas, and we didn't want to get all dressed up, but he loved Batman, so we talked to Rhodey Batman, and we were like, hey, you know what? Let's go out there and deliver some gifts. So we went dressed really casually, in like some casual cosplay. So that's how Spring Break Superheroes was actually formed, as a way for Chimichanga Talk to give back to the community, whenever we could, and it kind of blossomed from there. Even though I'm like not really as much of a part of it as you are, I was there at its conception, which is something that I'm very proud of, because you guys kind of show up and give people something to look forward to with characters that they love. So keep pushing forward and doing what you do.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right, beautiful. Yeah, that's it. That's your heartwarming moment, brought to you by Nuva Weave.
Aww. There you go.
Yeah, there
A
you
little
go.
audible there.
You know, yeah, Nuva Weave. It's what's for dinner.
Thanks,
So,
Nuva.
yeah, there you go. Now, if there is an actual product called Nuva Weave, I apologize tremendously, because
Don't
you
take
know,
us down, please.
yeah, please, no strikes. But again, remember to like, subscribe whenever you get your podcast. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Spotify. And give us a listen. Tell your friends about us. We are that cool new kid that everybody wants to hang out with.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Uh, Corey Feldman. Yeah, you want to hang out with him. The guy's a time bomb. All right. Coming up next, let's go ahead and kind of bring in somebody into the fold, right?
Sounds good. A little transition. I don't think we have
Yeah.
the budget for it. Um,
Yeah. Hard cut
Hard cut.
here.
Yeah.
All right, and we're back. We're back with some unfortunate news. Unfortunately, our guest, Josh Holland, was taken away into a type of adventure that no person likes to have. He's unfortunately sick, so we weren't able to get him on this particular show. But we will get him on the next one. So no worries. He is getting a lot of chicken soup for the soul, and getting better, hopefully a little bit at a time. So, Josh, if you get a chance to see this, we're all rooting for you. Wow, it sounds like he's dying. No, he's perfectly fine. He's just sick. So what we're going to
Or
do
is
is, in
he?
order what?
Or is he?
Or is he? Big conspiracy.
What do you
The
think?
stock market crashed today. I wonder if Josh had anything to do with that.
Start your theories.
Yes. Start conversating below. Make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and put us the biggest conspiracy theories that you want to actually talk about. Actually, that would be really cool. If you listen to this show and there's a conspiracy theory that you'd like us to cover, and what we'll do is we'll not only cover it, we'll either debunk it or make it factual in our own way. So we'll bend the truth in order to go ahead and make it happen. Because that's the way you make conspiracy theories the truth, by forcing reality onto other people who have absolutely no clue how to research anything for themselves. And okay, I'm getting too worked up.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're getting, you're one step away from beyond the news.
Beyond the, I like to think of me as myself as a tiptoe in the shallow end of Beyond the News. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and kind of talk about some other news that we saw, just kind of like maybe a state of affairs type of thing. So this is a Chimichanga Talk State of the Union address. Not really. but still,
It could be
yeah, it could be. So bad,
Elon
Juju. What do
Musk.
you got for me, man?
All right.
No.
No, no.
And our ratings tanked, and most of our crew got fired, which is us. So we're taking the severance letters, people. We're going to go ahead and take the money and just hang out in our house until September.
There you go. Gone for another 5
Yeah,
years.
yeah. Wake me up when September ends, right? Um, which would be the theme song there. Now, we actually had more news about Amazon, didn't we?
Yeah, we actually have some game news, so that's a new one. And I'll be taking
That's a
charge of
new
that.
one. All
So
right.
we have Amazon. We're going back to you, Mr. Bezos. Uh,
Remember, Chimichanga Talk is available for purchase.
oh yeah, if
Wink,
there's any
wink.
problems, you know.
Yeah, wink.
So uh, an ex Amazon VP for the everything related to games on Amazon recently said that they try to compete with Steam, but ultimately fail despite having more money and time, which is very, very interesting. With
Yeah, just an example of how sometimes Goliath wins.
yeah, the Goliath
Uh,
wins.
I
Eh,
mean, I don't know. Have you ever played any games on Amazon, by the way?
I didn't even know they had games. I knew they sent me stuff, but I didn't know they sent me
Maybe
games.
that's a problem. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, they
I
give
mean,
me
where do
the
you
boys and they give me
advertise?
Invincible. That's all I know.
Yeah, where would they advertise such things? I mean, how many people out there actually subscribe to like Amazon Gaming? Like, because I understand like Apple has its own like gaming stuff where they have like the Game Center and they promote all these games which are obviously mobile games and stuff like that.
And that
But
that's
I would,
cool. That
yeah, and I just wouldn't know where Amazon would begin to tell us, hey, we got games.
and what games did they even produce? That's a better question. What they produce that would supposedly beat Steam in like I don't know what they were trying to beat. I just saw it as a competition or something, and they said they couldn't win it. Which I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you're
guess
fighting against
Jeff
Steam.
Bezos, or I mean, you can't even say it's Bezos anymore. Bezos owned Amazon, but now, I mean, Amazon is owned by the shareholders. So if you're a shareholder, shame on you.
Yeah.
No, I'm a shareholder of Amazon. Shh. Um, but but I think more importantly, they're trying to be like the Walmart of online, right?
Yeah.
Because you know how Walmart has everything, right? It has from toiletries to grapes to paint. It literally is the one-stop shop for everything, and that's what Amazon's become. Because I know that Amazon does. We're on Amazon podcast, by the way. Shameless plug. Um, but Amazon does everything. You go on Amazon, find anything. You could. They have a music subscription, right? They have the streaming.
And now
Um,
they're gonna be able to send you medication if you need it.
oh yeah, yeah. Remember we talked about that. Amazon is actually getting like simple things like well, it's weird because they could talk to a doctor, which a lot of us during COVID-19, during the pandemic, wound up doing a lot of virtual visits with our doctors just to kind of help prevent the spread, right? Or as Robert F. Kennedy likes to call it, fiction. Um, but we we are kind of leaning more and more towards like a virtual world where we can kind of meet up with anybody that we want to. I remember when they held conventions and did panels and stuff, all over like Zoom, and you could kind of go into it. I mean, there were concerts. Um, Actually, before the pandemic, who did that, which was like really awesome. It is, and they used to do it for St. Patrick's Day. The Dropkick Murphys
Oh yeah.
would be in Boston, and from a set location, and they'd go ahead and perform a set for everybody. It was kind of like a tradition for my son and stuff like that to watch um, the Dropkick Murphys do their St. Patrick's Day live stream concert. Um, so, and they were doing that, like I said, before the pandemic, but I think a lot of us are doing the online stuff now. So you have Amazon going into that space. Hey, you can meet with a doctor or,
Yeah, you can meet
put
with anyone. I'm pretty sure soon. I think they already do. You're gonna have an Amazon house, which I think is already starting to happen with house deliveries. I don't know if you've
oh,
seen that.
yeah, house
The
deliveries
house
that you could like
deliveries.
expand your house out. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I don't know how comfortable I'd be with someone being like, "Okay, now drop your pants." All right. Well, it looks like you're about ready for your prostate exam there. Bad juju. Go ahead
oh
and just get
man,
real close to the camera, like. um, yeah. No thanks.
it's
No thank you,
it's gonna be
Amazon.
very interesting. Ready for Amazon's psychics and getting all these different things, tarot readings, and all that. Uh, it's gonna be a very interesting to see what's gonna happen in the next few years. Now that we already have houses and doctors on Amazon,
Mm.
what else are we gonna get? I think we pretty much got everything. Next is like they're gonna ship you out gas, like little gasoline tanks. Let's
Oh
send it
yeah.
to you like on the spot. They have someone ready to go. So I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, it's crazy. Like, I know that there are a lot of people. Like, if you go more towards like New York and California and stuff like that, they had these delivery robots. They do it for
Oh
food.
yeah,
And they would be constantly
harassed.
jumped. Yeah, harassed is yeah, that's a good word. Um, because we live in a society that unfortunately we don't take care of our less fortunate as well as we should. And because of that, we wind up having situations where, these people are looking to attack these robots that are supposed to be delivering your food. And I wonder, is there like a rating system? Has anybody used that thing? If you want, leave a comment down below. I'm really interested. Have you ever had anything delivered to you via robot?
I didn't they
Um,
used to do drone deliveries? I don't know if they still do that.
well, I think they tested it, and I don't think it did really well in the South.
Oh yeah,
The South would be the one place because guns and other reasons that would just really suck if they're like, oh, the drones, shoot the drones, they're taking our jobs.
they're watching us from above. It's like stuff
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. Exactly. So conspiracy theories run a little rampant in the South,
Yeah,
which is
very.
something that we're known for. Yeah. Um, but speaking of just kind of like automation and everything else, just recently there was news about Elon Musk's Neuralink,
Oh yeah,
um, which has been kind of like being installed in people. I think there's like three people in total now
I
that
believe
have like
so.
a Neuralink installation, which would
It
be really interesting to see.
the the thing about that is it's very interesting, and there are some people who it could benefit on. But I don't think it's something that should be for everyone. If it's someone who, one of the people who are handicapped, they're like pretty much paralyzed. I think I can't recall. I just remember he had a lot of issues, and that Neuralink allowed him to use his computer properly. And that's really interesting. That's really fascinating.
Yeah,
I'll admit that, but it is not something that people should start just getting because they don't feel like doing something.
yeah, and
It's
that's the thing. I agree with you 110% because I think what's scary is the fact that this Neuralink, it controls and kind of sends signals throughout, the whole body, right?
yeah,
That's what it's supposed to do. What if it malfunctions, right? What if
yeah, and it's
something
up
just
there
kind of
in your
like,
brain. That's
yeah, like where will the nightmare end? So that's really interesting. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts. You guys is all right. Get you guys is out there and give us some thoughts um, about what you think of this particular circumstance. What do you think, Juju? Do you think there's a benefit to having a whole bunch of hard wires into your brain?
depends on who you are. Like I said, if it benefits people who are paralyzed, disabled, people who maybe let's say don't have hands. You know, people who are veterans or people who have had accidents who don't
This
have.
doesn't regrow hands. You know that, right?
I know that, but I'm saying like the Neuralink.
And just
If you use a computer, it
yeah,
allows you to connect it, and you're able to use it with your mind. You could be like Professor X, um,
there you go.
or Jean Grey, or whatever hero you like to call yourself that's a telepath, and you could you could use your computer without even having to lift a limb, which is very, like I said, it's interesting and it benefits people. But is it something that should be used as a common, like not practice, but as a common thing? No.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It should
And
be for the people who are less fortunate
yeah,
with that.
no, I agree. And here's the interesting thing, right? It's like I think more than anything else, you have to consider a kind of like what are the bad things that can happen. Yeah, I see you yawning.
No, I didn't mean to.
um, yeah, it's early in the morning. No, but you know, I think there are a lot of trials and things that need to be done,
Oh
right?
no, most definitely.
And yeah, and the thing is that that's not happening. But you know what? Hey,
It's that
hello
and
world.
privacy. You know, that and privacy. That's the
Yeah.
less concerning things. But like I said,
Oh yeah.
very interesting. We can finally have Professor X's existing. They'll. I'm waiting for a time they're
Or-
actually gonna be able to control stuff. There's gonna be like little like glasses that are designed for Neuralinks. Like, could you get me that? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And they start
Wow.
moving
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That would be scary.
That would scare me. Yeah. We have like magnums and all that going
'Cause
around.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Um, and you know, in other news, right? Going to a little bit more lighthearted.
Sure.
Um, basically, wrestling giant WWE has been rumored to have purchased um, uh, Lucha Underground. So this is
Yeah.
like really cool. Because okay, Lucha Underground, for those people who don't know, basically, it was like Robert Rodriguez's. Yeah, there you go. Wave your hand, Junior. Robert Rodriguez's jump into the wrestling world in the sense where he made it and really leaned into the whole. Hey, um, this is a soap opera. This is a drama, right?
Right.
So each episode of Lucha Underground was built into seasons, and it told a story of a particular wrestler. So basically, it's story mode on any wrestling game. Just out in live, they had an arena where they would go ahead and settle their problems, but you'd have like the head of the office, and these wrestlers would go in there gripe, and it'd be like these really dramatic angles and stuff like that. So I think number one, it's cool because if the WWE does purchase it, we'll be able to go ahead and get some of their seasons from before.
Yeah.
A lot of really cool wrestlers like either got their start or really showed off their amazing talent at in Lucha Underground. It was really kind of more of Mexican style luchador type wrestling without the funky ring.
Mm.
And but I think it's interesting. How many of you guys actually out there watch wrestling? Because I do have access to some wrestling folks that we may be able to talk to. Do you guys want to see that? Leave a comment below. Let us know because, we make this show for you and for a reason to go ahead and just
Talk.
spout our mouth off. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's we're the top of the chimichanga part. So I want all of you guys to kind of participate as well. We like to hear your messages. We like to go ahead and give a shout out to a lot of our fans. Like for example, this weird David dude who wind up wanting like sending a message that he got some kind of weird thing, and he says, "What kind of garbage is this?" Well, it's chimichanga talk garbage, my friend.
Yeah.
Uh,
Welcome to the worst side. Well, no, it's not the worst side of the internet, but welcome
well, we're
to
the
the
second
geeky
worst.
side.
Second
Yeah.
worst.
Welcome to the
Yeah,
geeky
yeah.
side of the internet. And I don't even know what we talk about at this point. We just kind of wing it.
Yeah, no, yeah, and like I said, it's one of those things where I want everybody to understand that we want to go ahead and produce content for you. We want to go ahead and give you some fun stuff to talk about, some levity, if you will, from the everyday, and kind of just take a look and see what we can do to bring that to you. If you guys want to know about certain things, let us know. We have access to a lot of great writers, artists, musicians. What do you want to learn about? Kevin Laporte, who was here last week, did an awesome segment about how to have a successful comic book Kickstarter. It's all about the covers, and a lot of people sent out great messages about that because they're struggling trying to get things done. So if you are a struggling person, which you obviously are since you're watching this, yeah.
Wow, make fun of our
well,
guests? How dare you? This
well,
is
I'm just saying, we love all of you, but we want to hear what you're curious about, right? It's not just about what I'm curious about, because that's why we had Josh on, because Josh, he's traveled far and wide to kind of curate and help sell the adventure that is going to a museum, right? Um, and we're going to get more in depth with that with him when obviously we talk to him. But I thought it was absolutely 100% unique at the fact that you get an insider's look at, okay, well, what happens behind the scenes? Who determines, what happens or what goes into a museum? There's a lot of effort that goes into that.
yeah, it's
And
not
we're
just
hoping,
grand. It's
exactly, exactly. And actually, you know what? One thing that I want to do is I'm going to try to reach out to some friends, and because one thing that Kevin mentioned was that he owned a comic book store. So I think I should get a comic book person onto the show who owns a comic book store and could kind of tell us the ins and out of that. Because I mean, that might be somebody's fantasy. That might be somebody. Hey, you know what? I want to own a store. What does it take to run it? So give us your ideas, give us your shout outs, either Twitter at Deadpool Speaks, messages through there.
or a
Um,
little email plug right here. Well, right at the bottom. I'll put my email.
Wait, you're pointing at my head.
Am I?
I don't know. I
It's
mean, you're
right. It's
pointing.
right there. It's right
Just reach up
here.
right
Somewhere
there.
up
Yeah,
there.
there,
Somewhere
there you
it.
go.
I'm gonna have a fun time editing this. Is just like go up, down,
Yeah,
right,
go ahead
left.
and make sure that the text follows your finger. Um,
Ooh. But
so yeah, okay. So go ahead and email us any ideas that you have. Reach out to us, DM us, PM us.
and if
Um,
you like, let's say we have someone watching who would like to talk about their story as an author or something like that, reach out. I mean,
yeah,
we're willing to bring on anyone as long as you're not going to get us copyrighted, please. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Y-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. but
I, that makes sense.
yeah, but
Um,
reach out, email. Ooh, I'm gonna have a fun time
yeah,
editing this. but
yeah.
reach out
but
and let us
mhm.
know because generally, not only is it fun for us to interview these people and have some crazy questions for them and just having a great time, but it's also fun for you guys to see us blabbering on about whatever.
Whatever,
Yeah,
exactly.
like wrestling,
Uh,
science, whatever. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, actually, and I think we need some more science people on here too. We
Yeah.
during our first Pensacon #1, we're approaching Sweet 13 now next year in 2026.
Oh my god.
We actually did a really amazing interview with someone who was an astrophysicist, and she worked with everything having to be around stars and stuff. It was an actual awesome live podcast that we did from Pensacon. So maybe we could do something like that. What do you want to see? Let us know. Um, But you know what? I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. I know that Josh can make it, but like I said, he is on the mend. So when he gets better, we're going to go ahead and record that podcast with him, and then get it out for all of you guys to enjoy. And for the time being, he's
Oh, I'm bad
that.
juju.
that
Yep.
he's
That's my
he's
name.
bad juju.
Yep.
And I'm Deadpool Speaks, and thank you so much for tuning into this quick episode, but yet fulfilling episode,
Doesn't
brought to you
fill
by
you up,
Neuralink.
but it gets the job
Yeah,
done. You're not starving.
yeah, exactly. We're enough calories for you, damn it. You
Yeah.
know,
Way too salty
uh,
though.
yeah. There's people around the world that don't get podcasts this long. Okay, so eat your whole podcast. So guys, like I said, I am Deadpool Speaks. That is Bad Juju, and this has been a very quick, brief, but existential
Sweet.
episode
Short and
of
sweet.
Chimichanga Talk. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Thank you so much. I'm out. Stop waving.
Hey.
Thank you for listening this week, and remember, just like always, we will be back next week with another great guest and more adventures from the land of Chimichanga Talk. So tune in next time, same Deadpool time, same Deadpool channel.